Can politics be an art? This is a question I have for y'all out there. Think about it before I spoil your thoughts about it with my own thoughts about it. There's visual artists, there's martial artists, literal artists, musical artists, culinary artists, and combinations of all these other things, thespians and things like that, where these people are doing something artistic. So is there also a category of political artist? This isn't can some art have political messaging or can political people create art? That's not what I'm thinking about here. I'm just saying, can politics be a category of the arts? I think you'd have to define the terms first. And I have a series called What is Art? And it's just like what, comma, is art? And that is how low my bar of what art is, although it goes very, whether you can have like fine arts be like the highest form of arts and creativity in that sense. But when it comes to art, even just this bougainvillea plant here, that is a bougainvillea flower right there. These purple or red things in some cases are the spring leaves. But the flower itself, I think it's kind of a thing where it's like a bee's flying around. Bzzz. It's like, what's that over there? Bzzz. And it comes over here and gets the nectar and whatnot. Goes somewhere else. I think that is sparking that question of what, to answer that question of what, or sparking it in someone else, or somebody's creating something artistically because they had a what and they're trying to answer that in their mind. And when it comes to politics, this might kind of let you know where I'm leaning towards this. I think politics in general is something that's more about getting you not to ask what. It's getting you to just do things that the person wants to do in that action, or when you do the things, get people to the point where they're okay with things being done without having to ask what they're doing, what is the cause of this, what is the purpose of this. It's just to get people in some sort of automaton. How do you say that word? Automaton. I think it's automaton. So now that also comes to think, now talking about automaton, so whatever you say that word is, now can AI and things like that create art if they're just made to be more like 01000001? That's the crazy thing about AI art. All that stuff that you're seeing, all this complexity, so-called supposedly quote unquote art or intelligence, is just zeros and ones kind of coming together. And then I think that also comes to the point where if in art you're actually trying to inspire, answer the question of what, communicate something that leads you to think and activates your brains and your thoughts and your ideas and your imagination and your aspirations. And then politics has that sense of trying to shut that down. Maybe when it comes to public art, which is mostly like political art, it's put on by committees. That's another word that's hard to say. Committee, that I have struggle saying. Committees, bureaucrats, people in political positions for political reasons. And maybe there's a struggle in the way public art looks when you put it in that way, where people are like, okay, this is off-putting. This doesn't make me feel joy in that kind of sense. And maybe it's not the fault of the artist that was creating it, but what they were trying to express. The what in there, what is being expressed by that art is politics. And maybe they're accurately capturing that blah nature of politics in the public art. And that's why it is so off-putting in that sense. So can politics be an art? I will get to that in a longer conversation. I want it to be a conversation, not just me going off of myself.